2,17,000 every month. That's how much we spend to live in Germany. No motorcycle, no lavish living, no fancy holidays, just our real monthly expenses. Person earning, two-person living. These are our actual numbers. No bullshit. Before we get into the numbers, here's a little context. I moved to Germany on a dependent visa. My partner works full time. I'm on a part time basis. I'm looking for a full time job, giving interviews, and also trying to grow this channel. So, technically, as of today, we are living on single income. When I lived in India, I never imagined paying our monthly bill could cost this much. So, if you're planning to move to Germany or you are already living in similar situation, this video is for you because most of the people online talk about salaries, their travel experience, their life in Germany, but very few people talk honestly about the actual cost to live here. Let's start with the health insurance because that's one of the most and the very important part when you live in Germany. The first thing when you see the number of a health insurance, it surprises almost every Indian who come here. We pay around 500 euros per month, which is deducted from my wife's salary. And health insurance is mandatory in Germany. Either you pay the public insurance or you go for a private insurance. It's one of the biggest expenses that you will have every month. So before moving here, make sure that you understand how health insurance works and how much it will cost you in your situation. So let's talk about the rent. Our rent has ranged from anywhere between 990 euros to 1300 euros. In our case, we opted for a fully furnished apartment, which is basically around 42 to 50 square meters, totally furnished, which also includes electricity bill, which is a Kalta meter, not warmer meter, Kalta meter, and also includes internet. When you are talking about the rent here, please check whether you are paying for a warmer meter or a Kalta meter. And before moving in, we have to pay a deposit, which is sometimes it varies from owner to owner or agency to agency. Sometimes it is 1 month rent or sometimes it is 2 months rent. So we paid just 1 month rent. And make sure if you are moving here, your first month just to secure your living in Germany would cost you somewhere between 2 to 3,000 euros. And the next thing we are going to talk about is the groceries, which is one of the hottest topic here. We spend somewhere between 350 to 450 euros just on our grocery. We cook Indian food at home most of the time, and we try to have meat at least twice a week. So basically rice, dal, lentils, spices, vegetables are all available here. We usually go to either Aldi or Lidl, and we also visit Indian supermarket once a month just to get lentils or rajma or something like that. If you shop from a fancy supermarkets like Edeka or Areve, they expect that the budget will be out of the roof because the same product will cost much more cheaper and with the same quality in Lidl or Aldi rather than that you find it in Reve or Edeka. Thing that we are going to talk about is a transport. So we spend about 124 euros, that is 62 euros per head. We take Deutschland ticket, and that's the main mode of transport at the moment. We do not have a car or a motorcycle, as you guys know. And why Deutschland ticket? Because I can use this ticket on a tram, bus, S-Bahn, U-Bahn, all over Germany. And if I have to take a fast train, that's ICE, I have to pay a separate ticket price for that based on what time and day that I am traveling. And we use public transport 99% of the time. We hardly take cabs until unless we have a lot of luggage to carry. If not, we prefer to go on a public transport. And phones, we are still using pay-as-you-go phones. We both had the latest iPhones when we came here, so we only had to buy a SIM card. For that, we spent about 10 euros each, and every month we recharge for about 10 euros. We get unlimited calls, unlimited SMSs, and we get about 25 GB of internet, which is more than enough. So till today, it has been almost 1.5 years. We have not taken any contract on our telephones because you will end up paying more if you take a contract, which is about around 70 to 80 euros minimum per month. And you also have to pay upfront charges, which is about 100 euros or 150 euros based on the phone that you take. I don't see it is useful to go for a contract, and I would also suggest you guys, so evaluate your situation. Instead of going for a contract, use your old that you are already using in India. Once you get comfortable here, then you can think about having a contract. I am not thinking of having a contract because pay as you go is more than sufficient for my usage. I can use this SIM card all over Europe, and roaming is, it's not free, but there are some charges if I answer any calls or if I make a call. But I think for an emergency, this will work out in a much better way than spending 70 to 80 euros every month for no reason. And if I have to upgrade a phone, I'll buy a new phone rather than going for a contract. The next topic is about eating out. Eating out is where it purely depends upon individual. We love to try different cuisines, so we eat out whenever we travel over the weekend. If we go to different city, we love to try their cuisines as well. Sometimes after a long day, we do not feel like cooking at all, so we eat out. We order either Indian food or we order a pizza or a doner, depends on our mood. But what we make sure is we always have a cap of about 15 euros, so we do not cross that 15 euros cap when we order. Our monthly spend is somewhere around 200 euros, I would say, as of today. If you go out to any Indian restaurant, you end up spending at least 35 to 40 euros for two people. That's a very basic meal. I'm not talking about a 3-course meal here. I'm talking about one starter and one main course and 2 soft drinks. That would cost you somewhere around 40 euros for 2 people. And shopping, we don't do much, simply because we already shopped when we came to Germany, and we still use the same clothes, because 90% of the time, that is about 7 to 8 months of the year, you will be wearing jackets, you will be wearing warm clothes, so you will not be wearing this t-shirt and going outside. So only about 2 months in a summer we wear this t-shirt and go out. Apart from that, every time we wear jacket, and underneath the jacket we wear just one t-shirt or one sweater that serves the purpose. So we don't spend much on clothes as we used to in India. We hardly spend about 50 euros a month. Sometimes we don't even spend that 50 euros per month. So it is purely depend on person to person how much you want to spend on your clothes. And so let's add up everything. Our total monthly living expense is coming up to 2,419 euros. So now let's convert this number immediately into Indian rupees so that you guys understand. That's around rupees 2,17,000 per month. So now let's compare this 2,17,000 with a cost of living in Bangalore. A similar lifestyle in Bangalore might cost roughly around 80,000 rupees per month. So Germany about 2,17,000 and Bangalore is about 80,000 per month. Living in Germany is significantly more expensive. So there is another side to this story. Salaries Germany are much higher when you compare back home. Many entry-level jobs here in Germany pays you somewhere between 2,500 to 3,000 euros before tax. For the people with a stable job, this number can still make sense, but that's only true if you have a job. I don't at the moment, and that's the reality today. Here is what you should understand before moving to Germany. These numbers are only your basic living expenses. This does not include your unexpected emergencies, your visa related costs. If your phone or laptop stop working, you need to repair it or you need to buy new. So it does not include these costs. Traveling back home, if you want to take any holidays. So all these includes a cost, and these are not the small numbers. So my advice to you guys is at least move to Germany with at least 6 months of living expense in your bank account. It will give you a breathing space while you settle down and look for a job. Or if you already have a job, it will act like an emergency fund. And if you can, learn German before moving to Germany. Not after coming here, before moving to Germany. It's been 1.5 years. I'm still learning German and I'm still looking for a right opportunity so that I can start working full time. I have learned that lesson hard way. I want you guys to understand that. Learn the language before moving to Germany. And what about the motorcycle? To be honest, that's an additional cost again. Luckily, I have my riding gears from India and it is still intact. So I do not have to spend on my riding gears. If I had to spend on riding gears, that would easily be somewhere around 1500 to 2000 euros straight. And apart from that, I have to get my driving license. So apart from that, any trips that I am planning, that doesn't include in this monthly expense, that has to be earned extra. All in all, I'm just hoping that I would get that opportunity this year and hopefully get my motorcycle and the driving license by end of 2026. Fingers crossed. So either I get a job by end of 2026 or I grow this YouTube channel to then such an extent that I could own a motorcycle through this YouTube channel. So every video that I post on a Friday brings me one step closer to that dream. That's the plan at the moment. If you're planning to move to Germany, I hope this video has helped you in understanding what are the basic expenses that you have to take care of before moving to Germany. And these are our real numbers and our real expenses. If you are moving to Germany, tell me in the comment section which city that you guys are planning to move, and if you are already living in Germany, so let me know which city you are living in and what is your rough approximate monthly expense based on the city. If you want to talk to me, I will also include my top mate link in description, so you can click on that link. Just for a cost of one coffee, you can talk to me for 30 minutes and ask me any questions that you have before planning to move to Germany. And I hope the information provided in this video has helped you. If it is useful, please subscribe to this channel, click on that like button and share it with your friends. It will really help my channel to grow. I'll see you next Friday. Please take care, ride safe, always wear a riding gear and a helmet before you go out on a motorcycle. Until next time, ciao.